Yesterday I addressed a gathering of Nobel Peace laureates being held in Mexico. Luckily, in the end, they asked me to do pre-recorded. Otherwise, I was ready to do live midnight 30 in Dili. And some of the messages I shared with more than 1,500 participants in that meeting of Nobel laureates and others in Mexico, in Nuevo León, a city 2 hours away from Mexico City, obviously valid for anywhere, the message. And what can Timor-Leste contribute to ASEAN? And how we visualize ASEAN, how we think of ASEAN. And A, very basic, very normal, regional organization, the international structure built upon regional organizations, regional cooperation. Regional cooperation are better when it is organized by the countries in the region that with common concerns, common values, common aspirations of the people, the vision of the leaders who wish to translate into peace, sustainable development, prosperity. ASEAN has very different political systems, incredible rich ethnic cultural diversity, in a very sensitive strategic area of the world that the last 20-30 years progressed extraordinarily, bringing prosperity to the people. We all know that. But this prosperity always comes with challenges. And it was, ASEAN was not built overnight. Peace, stability were not created out of magic wand, out of simple desire. Democracy has had in ASEAN region huge setbacks. And I remember when in the 80s and 90s, whenever I needed to travel from Europe to Australia, I always asked where would we transit? And if there is an emergency, where would the plane land? And I was worried that it would land in such and such city, and that someone would pick me up and take me somewhere else. And so this is how ASEAN region, all of Asia has really changed. Extraordinary freedom of movement of people, tremendous mobility. So Timor-Leste, and historically, if you are a small country, but you have as neighbors some richer countries, some bigger countries, you have to be really dumb if you do not benefit from it. If all your neighbors are poor, well, yeah, the poor try to help each other, but a bit more difficult. So if you have as a neighbor, richer, powerful countries, it is up to you. Your wisdom, your being savvy, hard work, to exploit the opportunity, and then even with the very common people, they know that. And I probably was the only foreigner ever that went to the airport to bid farewell to some workers. Well, and what was the argument I made with all these countries? Please help us. That first argument, please help us. No jobs, no economy. Country very poor. Number two, they come, they will learn skills, new work habits, ethics. Three, you treat them well, they will be great goodwill ambassadors of Korea in Timor-Leste and vice versa. The experience has been incredibly successful. With Australia, it took longer. And I just said, with the help of some Australian was here, he's still here. The first group that went, 16. Again, I bid farewell to them. But they went to Western Australia to do diving, pearl diving, to fish for pearls. Anyway, now we have more than 4,000. I don't bother you with my conversation with John Howard, the Prime Minister of Australia, with Alexander Downer. They didn't understand anything at all about this temporary work. Then yes, now they have this specific program and so on. But this is only to say, people's mobility and how many tens of millions of Filipinos, Indonesians, Europeans, Latinos benefited from this massive people movement around the world.